Hey everyone, I'm Brenna.
I'm Brian, and we are Front Porch Swingers, or at least we are the podcast Front Porch Swingers, and we are actually Front Porch Swingers as well. We'll swing anywhere. And we also swing Billy's way, which is why we are patrons of Billy.
Yes, absolutely. We love that Billy is producing so much amazing sex-positive content. And, as people that have been personally kicked off of Instagram and YouTube and pretty much everywhere else you can imagine for being slutty, we really appreciate people that are helping move our slutty needle in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Billy is a guy who's, I guess he's really been a pioneer. You've been listening to him for, 4 years now?
Yeah, a really long time. And yeah, on a personal level, I come from a community where sex positivity is basically unheard of.
Yeah.
And so having someone like Billy talk about the things that matter to me from a sexual standpoint was amazing and just one of the many reasons that we support him on Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. And he's just fucking entertaining.
And I totally got to see his cock on his Patreon community page, and
That's
that
true.
alone is pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, anytime you're getting cock pics with consent, of course, why not?
Yeah. So if you want to be a part of the fun, we highly recommend checking out Billy's Patreon and becoming one of his members for yourself. You'll get access to a ton of cool stuff, and we just think Billy's worth it.
Yeah, Billy does a lot of cool things for the sex-positive community. Let's help him keep it up, figuratively and financially.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Shout out to all the sluts who strut and whores that chore. This is Billy Procida, and you're listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Hey, welcome to the show if you're new, and, welcome back if you're not. This week on the show, we got Jessica Lovelace Chandler returning for her third appearance, a former flame of mine. I caught up with her when I was out in Los Angeles last week, and I look forward to sharing that episode with y'all in a bit. But first, I want to talk about Texas politics, and it's a good thing, and I'm shocked it's a good thing. Oh my! Well, it looks like they've finally done something right, because apparently Texas recently enacted a law that criminalized unsolicited dick pics. Praise be. Have a party right now. Take a moment to celebrate. All your hard work and marching has paid off. Texas is now banned something that they call cyber flashing, and is a law from State Rep Morgan Meyer of Dallas, who teamed up with Bumble, of all organizations, to come up with this law, to come up with this punishable offense. And this is text messages, email, dating apps, social media, whatever. So now, and I don't want to just say it's the dudes with the dicks, but it's mostly the dudes with the dicks, although I don't want to invalidate people who've received creepy nudes from women. But we know who this law was written about, and now I dare you. I say, does she really want that dick pic? Does he really want to see your asshole right now? Ask yourself that before you send it. Oh, and fellas, you think you're going to get off sly? You think you're going to cover up your dick and just show your massive erection while it's covered? I think otherwise, because this must have been a Bumble tip. This must have been like they had the law ready to go, and then Whitney Wolf at Bumble was like, here's the loophole. This is the hard-on loophole. We got to put it in here. So the law is written in that a person commits an offense if the person knowingly transmits by electronic means visual material that, subsection 1, subsection B, depicts covered genitals of a male person that are in a discernibly turgid state, if is not sent at the request of or with the express consent of the recipient. There we go. You're not getting around this one, people. Bumble, for all of its frustrations, doing a little bit of good in the world. So I thought that was nice to share. Yeah. I was gonna tell y'all a little bit more about, like, I don't know, my threesome in Los Angeles and some like random failed online encounters that were kind of freaky deaky, and what my time was in the hacienda I went to Saturday. But you're just gonna have to be in the champagne room to read all of that, because right now, instead, I would like to give y'all
get them hot, get them dates, show dates.
Yeah, show dates, people, show dates. Ithaca, New York, September 27th. I'm at Circus Culture. Romulus, New York, September 28th, Button Winery. Those are both part of the Finger Lakes Comedy Festival. So go search for Finger Lakes Comedy Festival for the full schedule and information about tickets. And then, weirdest gig of them all, Mishawaka, Indiana, October 15th, Smokestack Brewhouse. I'm going to be there at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m., something like that. It's a free show. If you're in the area, it's, look, it's probably one of the only times you're going to get to see me do stand-up in the near future. So I recommend then if you're out there. If you're in the New York City metropolitan area, though, I highly recommend you come check out my booth at the Brooklyn Sex Expo next weekend, September 21st and 22nd. I will be there. I will be there with my current intern. My lady friend will be there as well for one of the days. I'm going to be selling merch. I'm taking selfies. I'm giving away a free motor bunny. Right? So you're not going to want to miss this. It's free to attend. If you register at sexexpo.com, I believe you get like a goodie bag when you show up. There are a bunch of awesome seminars, but mostly I'm there. So make a point to come see me. Come say hi. Introduce yourself. September 21st, 22nd. More information at sexexpo.com. Okay. I was going to save this for the outro, but I don't know. Kind of wanted to share a thing. I post some content on Patreon besides the bonus episodes and besides my nudes. Okay. I also do some writing on there. Sometimes that writing is private. Sometimes it's public. Sometimes I share pictures on there, things like that. This was a free post that anyone can go check out at patreon.com/manwhorepodcasts /posts if you want to be super specific. Anyways, I would love for y'all to check this out. This one felt nice to write, and it's a bit about the pressures that I feel in sexual situations with some of you fine, fabulous people. I'm going to read an excerpt from it. I've had conversations with people over whether it's ethical or not to sleep with your fans. For some reason, I feel singled out when the topic arises because they never mention rock stars and their millions of groupies. I do not know the ethics of it, but I do know this. It's a risky business move. Several listeners I've slept with later told me they had stopped listening to the podcast. When I ask when they dropped off, they usually share, shortly after we slept together. There wasn't a particular complaint, a behavior, a vibe, a comment. They just felt less compelled to listen. It stops being this semi-mysterious podcast guy who turns them on every week and just starts being that guy Billy I fucked. You never want to ask, was I bad in bed? Because if you have to ask. I positioned myself between her legs, condom in hand, shoving a smile on my face. Yeah, sex is fun, but have you ever slept past 8 a.m.? This is part of the gig, I tell myself. The on-demand slut allegedly advertised each Wednesday, ready to prove the story's true. Value, a noun. The regard that something is held to deserve. The importance, worth, or usefulness of something. If you want to know what the fuck that is about, if you want to know what comes after that, go to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Go to my posts. This is free to read. I think I've tweeted it. I think I posted it on the Facebook page. But yeah, just a little insight into how I feel sometimes when my dick is out. Time for the fan whore appreciation moment because I don't know how to segue. Hi. This is the part of the podcast where I like to give a shout out to some of the members of my fan whore community on Patreon. These are folks who not only help keep a roof over my head, but they're people who get to enjoy a whole ton of fabulous, awesome, exclusive content behind that paywall. The first shout out is going to go to Joanna Simon, who is in our Fan Whore Fantasy Football League. Her team name is Blue Balaj, and only legit NFL fans are going to know who that is, or people in the, fan of the Lions. But Joanna, it's going to be fun kicking your ass in fantasy football this year. Can't wait. Bethany, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for your endorsement, which all of you can hear at the very end of this episode. And I also want to give a shout out to a man who just calls himself Newsy. Whenever somebody pledges to the Patreon, I send them an onboarding email where I just say thanks, and I ask them for the email address to add them to the champagne room. I also ask if they need help setting up their bonus RSS feed so they can access over 100 bonus episodes on Patreon. But this guy just emailed me back, said, I just came for the nudes, bro. And honestly, it's an email like that that's very validating, letting me know that my dick pics are worth $5 a month or more. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you to Newsy. And you too can become a member for as little as $2 per month. And you can cancel your membership at any time. At the $5 level, not only do you get access to our super secret Facebook group, The Champagne Room, and behind the scenes posts and a shout out on the show, but you also get 3 bonus episodes every month exclusively on Patreon, as well as access to my not safe for work Patreon posts. Could be a soft dick pic, could be my booty, could be some titties. You don't know until you're a member. And you can join the club right now at Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. All right. And now for this week's guest, Jessica Lovelace Chandler. Very funny comedian and writer out in Los Angeles, and a one-time former fling of mine from my college days. You heard Jessica back on episode 105. You also heard her last year on episode 241, my live show from Los Angeles. If you're not one of the types who binges everything and you loved her and you want to hear more of her, go check out 105 and 241. But for now, let's hear some more about that hoe life and those mommy urges from Jessica. Blowing me is rarely the right choice. I think.
Save it for the podcast.
Personally.
Oh, look, that's my name.
That is your name. So this is yours. You're going to want to be up on it.
Oh, so we don't need headphones.
No, we don't need headphones. You're fine. You just
Oh, I see.
Be-
I don't want to move it around.
It's okay.
I get nervous on podcasts.
You do?
Yeah, I've
Why
only
is that?
done. Excuse me.
Hot.
I've done 3.
Uh-huh.
Yours and 2 other people's.
All right. You're going to want to be a little louder.
Okay, I can be louder.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that-
if I was supposed to be talking yet.
Oh, no. I was just getting a read for what you do.
Oh, okay. Well, you told me to be chill, so I'm trying to be chill now.
Trying to be chill. I'm chill. Am I chill enough? Am I too chill? I don't know. Just I want someone to love me.
That's
Okay.
actually really funny. Am I too chill? This girl I was dating, I said something about being chill, and she was like, "You're the farthest thing from chill that I have ever known." And I think that's valid.
Yeah. Now I'm getting you sans Adderall. Great.
Yeah, no, I know it's more chill than normal, I guess, right? Or I don't know how it works. I guess I'm more normal when I'm on Adderall.
Well, you said you had a dream that you wanted to tell me about.
Okay, so I had a dream that we woke up, I had a dream while I was asleep that I did wake up and that we were doing the podcast, except for right before we were about to start the podcast, you started crying. And you had this really beautiful girlfriend with you. And you started crying and you were like, I thought we were going to play. And I was like, what?
What?
you wanted us to all have a threesome and you were like crying about it. And it was pretty great, actually. So we ended up all 3 having a threesome. Your girlfriend was hot. So I was like, okay,
What'd she look
I'll
like?
do it. She had short hair and she was skinny, but she had probably C cups. I just remember being really I was nestled against them and is nestled a word or nestled?
Nestled. I think it's nestled.
Nestled. Is nestled a word? What is that?
You're the one with a master's degree.
I don't actually even have a bachelor's degree.
What?
Yeah, I went to 2 of the best colleges in the country. I have $80,000 in debt,
And
so
no
it's
degrees?
basically like I have a degree.
You have 0 degrees?
I have 0 degrees of separation.
Wow.
I know, isn't that great? But you know what's great? If you put on your resume that you went to Columbia for 4 years, nobody questions whether or not you graduated. They just
Do
assume.
you say graduated or do you say attended?
I just say I studied at Columbia University.
It's not dishonest.
It's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
I don't know if it's
How,
truthful, but it's not a lie.
How was my crying threesome in your dream?
Well, you didn't cry once we started the threesome.
Oh,
Thank
cool.
fuck, because I've had people cry during sex. It's awkward. It's always awkward. It wasn't my fault.
Was it?
No, because it was this girl who really wanted to. She really wanted to have sex with me. She not pressured, but she pushed for it. And then halfway through, she was like, "I've been raped, and I'm so I'm not ready to do this yet." And we stopped, but it was still It was the first time that it ever happened because I think I was like 19 or something. And I was just like, okay.
So how do you handle a situation like that when you're still in like a semi-immature age of 19?
You stop having sex and
Definitely.
then
That part, I hope is...
and then years later you talk about it on a podcast, I guess.
well, like, no, but like in the bed, like, are you, like,
Yeah.
do you just...
No, I held her after. Like we were staying overnight together anyway because we were all on like this vacation together. She was a friend of other friends. So, so I just held her and told her it was okay. I mean, I've always been mature, Billy. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Oh, you
been
have.
mature my entire life.
What's a good time to say I have back on the show Jessica Lovelace Chandler.
Hi, sorry.
Welcome back.
I'm already apologizing for being here.
Comedian, writer, and someone I was naked with many moons ago.
Were you fully naked?
Oh yeah, because like I was, like you blew me and stuff.
But did you get like naked? It doesn't count if your shirt's still on.
I'm sure my shirt came off. I don't remember. I just remember having a purple dildo that I was told to put in your butthole.
It was green. God, you're
green.
so bad at this.
Oh, I have
your
a terrible
memory
memory.
is terrible. And every time we do anything about your show, you bring it up. So.
Because it's the main visual image. It's that and like us in the back of the cab.
I told you that my ex named that
And you
Gargamel.
being hella, and it's you being hella aggressive at Broadway Comedy Club. Like those are my 3 visual memories with you.
That's not a visual memory.
I remember just trying to be.
I remember exactly where you were sitting. Is that weird?
No, because there's only one place the
No, but I
seaters
remember
would
which
sit.
way you were facing.
Okay, that's
So
pretty specific.
I have visual memories too. Up until we got in the cab, and then I have no memory of the cab. I have a memory of us betting the. We've been over this.
Yeah, we've been.
Billy.
Y'all can go check out that episode.
Yeah, it's
I
a
wasn't
good-
trying to dig it up.
It's
but-
a good what's that called? Flashback episode.
Yeah,
or
I was just looking to contextualize.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But
yeah, I gave you. We never had sex, but I gave Billy a blowjob.
You wanted to
and-
have sex, and
Okay, great.
like,
That's a
no.
wonderful story, Billy.
I just want to be clear.
wanna throw that
people want to fuck me, and the world needs to know.
Well, just so you know, me in my dream apparently wanted to fuck you, or was willing to at least.
Yeah.
And I feel like you were crying. I had to.
it's like this is how we cheer men up in this country.
Right?
We just give them pussy.
Right? Well, that's great. I saw this thing the other day that was like, oh, you know what would solve all these problems of these men shooting up everything? They just need to get laid. So we should legalize, sex workers. And it's like, no, we should legalize sex workers, but also these men don't deserve to get laid.
That's not the why.
Right?
That it will be a byproduct. But
Right.
It's not like we're gonna. I mean, if you want to personally start a foundation that raises money to hire sex workers for these dudes once we've decriminalized it, great. But for now, like that's not
also,
the
like,
reason
what
to
if
do
we
it.
didn't blame women and their pussy for why men are shooting up places? I guess. Yeah.
Well, I was saying this recently. Like, I had on a fellow comic like a few months ago, and he's like, he used to be a pickup artist, and
Oh,
I told him how
God.
like I understand how people get there.
Uh-huh.
They literally just Google like how to have sex with women. Sometimes that's what pops up, and you
Right.
fall down that rabbit hole. But I'm like, some of them just want to get laid because they think it's going to improve their lives or make them happier. And
valid.
I am a prime example that sex does not make you happy. I have so much of it.
Are you happy at
apparently.
all?
Yeah, probably a little bit, but
Oh,
I'm not
you've
like
got
I don't
hit
consider
podcast, Billy.
I don't
and,
consider myself a happy man.
Well, that's because you're a comic, and if you were a happy person, you wouldn't.
But the idea is just that the sex is not
Right.
going to cure your problems, dude.
Oh,
you
yeah.
you got
Oh
other
yeah,
issues
I
to
used
take care
to. I used to have a bit in my stand-up about that.
Yeah.
About when people would say, "I want to fuck the shit out of you." It was a whole thing about body humor and how that's how that's toilet humor. But the ending was, if you're gonna fuck something out of me, have it be something I can't get rid of. Like I want to fuck the abandonment issues out of you. And then the thing was like, if that would happen, I would have had like no abandonment issues because I had a lot of sex in my 20s,
Yeah.
in my late teens and 20s.
You're in your 30s now, right?
Yeah, it's great.
And then are you having a lot of the sex now?
No, just
Are you
with-
dating?
Really, just with one person, but we're not dating. It's a very casual. We've been sleeping together for I guess, a year and a half.
What kind of? I was going to ask what kind of genitals we're dealing with.
Oh, it's a guy. He's never slept over.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only reason I know his last name is because it's the same as mine, and we're not related. He's black, so it's okay. I feel the need to say
Doesn't
that.
mean he's not related.
Well, but we're not necessarily. He's very dark, and I'm decidedly not. So I think we're in the clear right now. No, I feel being from Arkansas, I feel the need to clarify that we're not related. Okay.
Are you are you otherwise like trying to date anyone romantically?
Trying
or
is a
what's
hard
your
word.
search?
Like I would love to. Part of me is like I would love to be in love. It sounds great, but dating is a terrible thing. Like it's so much work, and for a while, I just haven't felt like I have the energy to take on somebody else's issues and. I don't know. Also, like meeting people who want a relationship as opposed to meeting people who just want to have sex it's a lot harder. And I think part of it was because I guess I still technically am married, but we're
Are
separated.
you still technically married?
Yes.
Because like you were on the show a few years ago, and
Yeah, we haven't dealt with it yet. There's a lot. There's a long story behind it. It's not because
We got
we're trying
time.
to.
We're on a
No,
podcast.
I don't want to
Okay.
talk about it right now.
All right.
But anyway, the point is that like we haven't been together for a long time, right? But the thing was when we were together, one of the biggest problems was that we weren't having sex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was an alcoholic, so that's a big problem too.
Sure.
But also, he
and
stopped.
you're apparently not, which I had to ask because you got. I think the last two times I've seen
Apparently
you,
not. That's nice.
every time no. In that, like each time I've seen you, I'll ask you like, wait, do you drink? And then you got like, why do you keep asking if I drink? Like, why would you
Right.
think I'm a sober person?
Right, because I think you think I should be is the real issue. Yeah, well, that's probably there's a little bit of truth to that, you know.
But y'all weren't sleeping together, and there were some other
Right.
romantic
So that
issues.
was the thing is for a long time I felt like I had this like emotional relationship without sexuality. And so I think when I first was coming out of that, it was kind of nice just to have sex again. And that's been kind of the thing about I'll say his name because nobody knows. Well, wait, now you know his full name because anyway, but you don't know if it's Lovelace or Chandler.
I didn't even know. I thought. Well, now you gave it away.
No, because I said he has the same. It could be either one. You never
okay.
know.
Well, go ahead
Okay,
and beep it.
thank you. So anyway, what was I going to say? So something. What were we talking about? You threw me off.
Oh well, like why y'all got divorced?
No, we were talking about. Oh, not. That's
Wait,
my
how-
husband.
That's what I thought we were talking about. Wait,
No, I was talking about the guy I'm sleeping with, but I forgot what it was.
right? But then we were talking about how like you're happy to have sex again after the divorce
Right.
or after the separation because that was one of the reasons why you were
Right, and so
splitting up.
yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Is it's nice. It's been nice having. I'm not into one night stands. I was for a long time in my life, and one of the nice things is like having consistent, very casual sex.
Yeah.
That's been it's been the best thing, and we respect each other. I know he respects me. I know he likes me because he comes back every time, and he's way hotter. Like he's like way out of my league. So I know.
Don't you enjoy that?
Yes,
Like
it's a
once you
good
get past
feeling.
the initial confusion, you're
Right,
just like,
right.
okay, I'm game.
Yeah, that's funny. I get why he's doing it. Like, I actually look better naked than I do with clothes on. Let's be real. Oh, you know what's worse is when you have to go to the beach and be in a bikini and like we are covering up all of my best parts. This is the worst thing in the world.
You want a reverse bikini. You want it
Yes.
to cover your belly and your arms and your legs, but
That's
you want your
exactly
bush and your
right.
tits out.
I don't have a bush. It's like a
Or
little Hitler stash.
I don't know what you got these days.
I know it's a Hitler stash.
Okay.
It's really cute because I don't like full shaved on me anyway. I think
Sure.
it looks weird.
Okay. Would you care when you're with other partners?
I don't want it. I don't want it like in the way of stuff. But I think trimmed or just well maintained. Let's say
Well-maintained.
that.
All right. So you got this other dude you got on the side, but then when we went out the other night, you were like specifically on a prowl for ladies. You told me like we're gonna go to gay bars, and you kind of were hoping you could meet a gal.
I think that's part of it. Is I I do, to some degree, miss that emotional connection. And I think part of why I had this dream just now was because I was more trying to hook up with your lady friend that you brought in
How many
the
times
dream.
does that happen in your life? Threesomes you have where you're like, I'd rather be with her, but
Yes.
apparently this is a package deal.
Oh, that's happened to me quite a bit, actually. The first time I ever had a threesome was, no, the first 2 times I had a threesome were like that, where it was just like, okay, fine, you're only interested because your boyfriend's here. I mean, it was very like Katy Perry, like, hope my boyfriend don't mind it. You know, that whole thing.
Right.
That was me singing, by the way.
Oh, that was?
No, it
Okay.
wasn't. It wasn't really. I wasn't trying.
Please don't. No.
Okay. Please don't try. Oh, that's what everyone's always told me my entire life, Billy. Thanks.
Well, do you try to, do you ever, when like a couple propositions to you, do you ever try to see if you can just get the gal, or do you recognize like this is, I'm just going to have to deal with this penis?
Well, in fact, I remember in the dream, I'm going to keep coming back to
Yeah,
this dream because it
let's
feels
go in
very
depth.
real. But no, in the dream, I remember going like, are we having sex with Billy too? Or is it just us hooking up? And my thing was like, if she was going to fuck you, I wanted to too. If we were just hooking up, then that was, you know what I mean? If it was just like, you're going to watch us, that's fine.
Right.
But like, I didn't want to just be left out. I don't like being left out.
Sure, but there's like a wide range between you both fucking me and then me just watching y'all. I figure there's a...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if it was like, okay, we're going to make out and do stuff for a while and then she's just going to fuck you, then that's not fun for me. I don't need to just sit there and watch you.
There doesn't have to be a fucking at all. There could have been a whole sort of, mix and match.
I guess that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like if I was allowed to do stuff to you. I think our
yeah.
words of fucking are different because I've been with women. So,
Oh, right. So
yeah.
you define fucking as like really anything that
I
involves
guess
genitals.
I just meant if we were hooking up.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
okay.
you didn't want to be the only one without a dick.
Right.
You wanted to be no dick or everyone gets the dick.
That's Freudian. I don't want to be the only one without a dick. That's why women are the way we are, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just that was always my problem with these threesomes. In all honesty, was like you have this fun, and then it's like, okay, you go home now, Jessica. Like we're gonna snuggle tonight and have a great time, and it's like always felt left out because I was always the third party. And that's no fun. And I used to say, like my ex, I guess technically husband and I, I always would say like maybe we should have a threesome. Or it wasn't even really me bringing it up so much as other people suggesting that we
The
should.
threesome to save the
Right.
marriage.
Well, no, it was more like because they knew I liked women and they were like, oh, you can still be with women. He would love a threesome. And the thing was like he didn't want one. And my thing was, I think it's not that he wouldn't enjoy it. It's like he knew I would really enjoy it. And he like didn't want me to, he didn't
Was he
want me to
intimidated
like,
by other women with you?
equally as he would be with another man. And I actually always appreciated that because it always bothered me when straight men would be like, oh, it's okay if you hook up with chicks. So it's like, no, because I could equally leave you for a chick.
Yeah.
Like
The jealousy is almost validating.
it was valid.
Yeah.
It validated my sexuality. And I think, and that was always the thing of straight men saying it's okay if you hook up with a woman because it was very dismissive of the fact that I wasn't just, for me, I've been in love with women. It's never been just sex with women. In fact, I think most of the women I've hooked up with, I've been in love with. So it was, I just remembered we're sitting in the middle of my apartment and my 2 roommates are home. This is great.
Do they not know about your...
No, it's just funny. I'm just like sitting here I don't mind spilling my guts on your podcast because like the people who listen to this
Thousands
are
of
like,
people are fine to hear, but not the 2 people I live with.
No, but the people who listen to this are like rad, right? You guys are rad. I think so. That was pandering, I think. I'm not sure. No, it's okay.
Oh, are they not rad?
No, oh wait, that sounded
Yeah.
bad. Oh God, this is not going well. I really put this mic in my mouth or foot in my mouth or whatever it is.
Well, Jessica's quite talented. She can fit both a mic and a foot in her mouth at the same
I
time.
really can fit a lot down there. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Have you ever had like a couple dicks in your mouth? The most I was, I
don't. I think that's kind of gross when women in porn are like rubbing them against each other and putting them both there. That
But I gotta
grosses me
say,
out.
looking down when you're doing it, like there's
Yeah.
an aesthetic of seeing like two or three. I once was part of 3 dicks in a mouth.
Wow. So you've done double anal and everything then too.
I've not done double. I've never been in another hole with another dick before.
You don't
yet.
think a mouth is a hole?
No, I said another hole, a different hole.
Oh, a different hole.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's only one where I've shared with a dick. Yeah, I'm open to like doing double vaginal. Sure, just gotta find the right person, and someone's gotta be fluid bonded because you don't want rubber going up against the rubber.
It's hard in porn finding like DP without often because I like anal a lot, and it's
So
fun.
you want to see double anal?
No, that's the thing. I want to see double penetration, but no double anal. So it's like sometimes I wish you could like filter things out in porn.
Right. Just like on Google, you can say such and
Yeah.
such not.
Right, exactly. I really wish because like also enemas don't need to see that. Like it's hard with porn with anal.
Well, you know,
it can be
over
hard.
at hotmovies.com, you can get quite specific. With
Are
your
you? Oh, really?
categories.
I've never heard of that. Are you
Use
product plugging?
Use promo code manwhore at hotmovies.com. You get 20 free minutes on any package you sign up for, including the free trial.
You're really good at getting sponsors, Billy. I will say that.
Oh, thanks.
Like you're good at the business aspect of this.
Yeah, it's like, Billy, if only you were funnier. Gosh,
I was
you
just
could
thinking
go so
that.
far.
I was like, the interesting like the things you could say would be great, but like also just getting the podcast out there. That's important. I've still never listened to our podcast.
So you haven't.
I think I listened to part of the live.
The live show.
One.
So you were also part of the live show,
Yes,
live
which
from
was
LA.
really fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a really fun time.
That was great. That one got to a deep place I was not expecting. If anything, I expected more.
I know that was funny because it was your main squeeze at the time who kind of brought it up.
A long distance partner of mine, Kenzie. Hey, Kenzie, how you doing?
Kinsey, you were cute. I like you.
Right,
Yeah.
right. She also said I was a bad kisser in front of everybody.
Oh, that was funny. But you pried to get her. You like.
I said you need to say one unkind thing. I just didn't think that was going to be the unkind thing.
Oh, so you like wanted to control what the unkind thing
No,
was.
I wanted her to show. I wanted to establish credibility with the
Oh,
audience.
so you wanted it to
show
be about
that
your
she-
personality and not your sex skills.
No, I wanted everyone with her on stage. I wanted the audience to trust that she would be
Right.
willing to tell me tough truths. I did not know that was one of the tough truths.
Oh, so you knew some of them already.
I figured it would have been like stuff like Billy's like a little condescending. Billy.
See, you thought it was going to be, like I said, you thought it was going to be about your personality. The second it was about your sexuality skills or your physical skills, then you were all upset about it. You're all butthurt
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because,
understand
look,
that.
we've been making out for a couple years. You could have told me at some point.
Right? Oh my God. Do you know what? Okay, wait. I've got to bring this up real
Sure.
fast. So the other night, so I'm on my period right now. I thought everyone
Congratulations.
should know. And so the guy I hook up with that we've been talking about, he wanted to come over and he wanted to have anal, and I was like, I'm not down for that tonight. I'm just not feeling it. And then I was like, well, you can come over, I'll give you a blowjob. And he was like really hesitant. I was like, or not, like, I don't do your thing or whatever. But then I had to kill this bug, and it was just sitting there in the middle of the floor, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I told him he should come over and that I'd give him a blowjob and he could pick up the bug, right? Which I think is totally valid.
Okay.
So then he
Strong, independent woman here, everybody.
So then he told me, nah, I'm really tired and you take too long because you talk too much. I was so angry. I was
Wait,
like, you
you
could have
take
just.
too long in a blowjob because you're talking during the blowjob?
I don't think I talk during a blowjob. Although sometimes you need to pull back because it's really, his dick's really big. And it's like, sometimes you just need like a second to breathe, right? So, I mean, at most what I say is your dick's really big. Like, great, terrible. I'm such a terrible person. But I was so mad because I was like, you didn't even insult me. And he was like, well, I wasn't insulting you. I was just saying whatever. And this was all via text.
There would have
so.
been there's a constructive criticism way to say what he wanted to say.
Well, I also felt like he could have just been like, no, I'm really tired. Period. Like, that's all he had to say.
There would have been a better way. He could have brought up something where he's like,
Yes.
he sees where there could be improvement in
Right.
y'all's blowjob relationship.
But there's
And,
never been a complaint before as part of it. It's like, we've been together a year and a half. You're just now
maybe
bringing
he's
this
been
shit up.
shy to say something.
Well, I'm excellent.
You don't wanna hurt
I've had a
someone's
lot of
feelings.
people tell me, like, years after we've stopped hooking up, that I was the best blowjob they've ever gotten. Not you. I was
Every
drunk.
woman
I
has
was
said.
drunk.
Every woman has heard that's.
But
the
it's
best blowjob
not
I've ever
while
gotten.
we're hooking up. It's like years after there's no chance
Okay.
for us to. I feel like that's validating.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now you want some emotion in your life? You'd like to be dating, or do you?
Here's the reality. I don't want to date. I don't even know if I want to be in a relationship. except for I feel like I should because I want to have kids. And I do feel like I'm getting to the point where not even like it's too late to have one kid, but I want more than one child. And it's not like I've talked it over with my parents and they're happy to, kind of help me if I decide I want to do it my own, or by myself. But reality is it's a lot easier having a partner when you're raising a child. And I think that's my biggest motivation. So right now, that's the hard part. Sorry. That's the hard part is it's like, oh, I actually have to like hurry up and find someone because like I want a kid like yesterday.
You're like 30. You're 33.
I'm 33.
33. Yeah.
But I'm from, like I said, I'm from Arkansas, and my
You should have had
friends
10 kids by now.
right. Well, it's not
You
even
should be a
that.
grandma at this
It's
point.
not even
being
yeah,
from
and that's the
Arkansas.
thing. It's not even about having many children. It's that like my friends have teenage children right now. And that's the weird thing is like. You see all these there are all these pictures of back to school photos on Facebook. And so I took one of the cat, I tied a bow tie on him and put an apple and a stack of books and was like, here's his back to school picture. Cause that is who I have right now is my cats. They're my babies. They're what keep me, they're the only ones that have slept in my bed, in a long time.
Is that by choice though?
To some degree. I actually, couple months ago, I was like, because you know me, I'm messy. We've talked about that. Shut up, no one likes you. We've talked about it on the podcast, but also I've really been trying to make an effort to clean my bed off because I realized that to some degree I was keeping. It was a protective thing that I was not cleaning my bed off because it's like, well, it's too messy. You can't stay over. And it was just even for me emotionally not letting me be connected to people. And the guy I hook up with, he's been over many times where I'm like, here's a sliver for us on the bed. Now you got to go, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. The cat's gonna be fine. You're
I
fine.
accidentally I leaned on the cat. Sorry. But yeah, so it's been, I think subconsciously even, it was a protective defense kind of a thing that I was keeping everything too messy, literally too messy.
Just to
in my
have an
bed.
excuse to not have people
'Cause-
like
yeah,
over or sleep over.
Because that was the thing. Sometimes even I'd want to have him over and I'd be like, nah, I don't feel like cleaning up. And it was a really like, that was my way of just not wanting someone all the time.
Well, it's going to be difficult to like get a partner to have a kid with if you can't also do the sleepover part.
No, but what I'm saying was I'm getting to that point where I think I'm ready again. I
Yeah.
think coming out of this really long-term, for me anyway, long-term and very serious relationship that is a marriage. It's
On paper.
No, but it was, we loved each
together
other.
for-
We were together for a long time and it's hard. It's hard and I think to some degree, still technically being married is holding me back. Even just subconsciously. I
You don't have to go into details, but just
Yeah.
is the reason why you're still legally married a logistics thing or is
yeah,
someone
it's a
dragging
logistics.
feet?
It's a
Okay.
logistics
Okay.
thing. Yeah. And I think it is going to be hard for both of us when we finally do it because we stay friendly for the most part. He actually came over yesterday, because the guy didn't come over to pick up the bug. So I needed him to come pick up the bug.
He still will pick up
I
bugs for you.
called and I was crying. And here's the thing. I was cleaning out 2 nights ago. I was cleaning out my room and I found all these old letters from him and they were really sweet and I just wasn't prepared to find them. And then this bug that he always cleaned up the bugs at our house. I used to joke. I was like, the only reason I ever want a partner is just somebody to like change the light bulbs and clean up the bugs, right? So anyway, there's this giant bug sitting in the middle of the living room. My roommates are out of town and I didn't want them to walk in the door and just this giant bug's lying there and them go, why didn't you clean this up? So I call him the next morning and I'm like literally sobbing. And I'm like, I can't pick up the bug and I have no one and I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Because that was to me, like, that was where I felt like very vulnerable was, how like you don't want to be with anyone until you get sick. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, why does no one love me? I need someone to take care of me. Right. Like maybe that's just me.
I'm sure a lot of people feel that. I go, when I feel sick, I'm like, great. Now I look gross. And I don't want someone I love to see me gross.
See, I don't want someone I don't love to see me grow. But I want someone who loves me, who's willing to see me grow, and will still
It's
unconditionally
also just a
love
really
me
high
after.
ask to get someone to love me. So that's just like a whole different.
It's a what?
It's a high ask.
Oh, a high ask.
to-
I
for
thought you
someone
said
to love
high
me.
ass.
So,
and I didn't know what a high ass was.
Oh,
I know I don't have one. Whatever.
come on, we've all seen those guys on the basketball court. Some of them got a pretty high butt.
Well, that's part of what I like about black men is they have beautiful asses. They really do.
Well, you also complimented me on my donk earlier.
Well, you had it was kind of a joke, but because you had wallet, you had a wallet.
I have a great butt.
You
can't
do
take that from me.
Okay. On your
is,
dog.
is your husband sober now?
He has been off and on.
Okay.
And that, to be fair, is not really my story to tell.
No. I was just
Yeah.
getting. I was
No, I
asking-
appreciate
It was a
it.
question to lead to another question.
Okay, go ahead.
Which was
no,
gonna-
again, I feel comfortable in saying that it was a large part of why well, here's what I always told him about our marriage was it was not the reason our marriage had problems, but it was the reason we couldn't fix those problems.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately you can't go to therapy and work on little stuff
If there's
when
a
there's a
big-
big overarching thing that
It's hard to paint
Yeah.
the house when there's a hurricane happening, you know?
And I felt like to some degree I was going to therapy. I was taking my medication. I was doing the work. Why should I have to go to this with someone who's not doing his own part of the work? I felt like that was not that was a high ask of him to want that of me. And again, it's like we would have these really, I thought, profound conversations about what was going on with us. And the next morning he wouldn't even remember them. So that was hard.
Could you, I mean, but he's still in your life and he's still friendly
Yeah.
with him. Like, could you see yourself getting back to him under, say, a condition of sobriety?
I don't think he wants that, which has been really hard.
Doesn't want to be sober, doesn't want to be with you?
Doesn't want to be with me. I'm going to say this. He was very secretly with someone while we've been separated and lying about it the entire time and telling me that he did want to get together, but very, very much in a very serious relationship with someone, which now he claims has ended. But I also have been lied to for a long time, and he's lied many times over and said he's ended it. So his reasoning for why we weren't together for forever was him saying, I just want to work on myself. I need to be alone for a while. I'm going to work on myself. And ultimately, that's not what he was doing. And one of the things when I started that relationship, it wasn't really even a relationship I wanted it to be. But when I started hooking up with that other person, I told him almost immediately because I said to myself, this isn't fair. He's a good person. I don't want to lie to him and I don't want him. We hadn't had sex. He and I hadn't had sex in months at that point. But at the same time, I didn't want him. I wanted him to have the information because I respected him. And when he was able to lie to me so many times in the way that he did, it very much felt like he didn't respect me, especially because we weren't together. And all he had to, like, I asked him at one point, I was like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? And he's like, no. Like, all you have to do is just be honest. Like, if he had asked me, are you sleeping with someone? I said, yeah, I am. But like, that hurt more on, I think, to some degree, a friendship level. That was one thing we said while we were separating was we respect each other. We want to be nice to each other. We want to be friends. And I felt like he wasn't upholding his part of the
Friends
deal.
don't lie to friends.
Not in that way. They don't lie big lies like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I mean, you can lie little stuff and his
Yeah, that dress is cute.
Right, exactly. And his thing was like, well, I was just protecting you. It's like, no, that's not protecting you because to some degree I was.
You don't know what
Holding
protection
out-
I fucking need.
Right.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I think I was like holding out this idea that maybe after he got sober, we could be back together. Because I think to some degree, when we were last living together, I kind of had like an intervention for him. And one of the things I said was, you either need to get sober or we can't even be around each other anymore. And that was when he kind of like when I moved out was when he got it together and started getting sober. And I guess to some degree I thought like, oh, he's going to get it and we're going to try again. Cause like I said, that was the big thing is I thought, oh, that was the other thing. While he was with this woman, he was lying to me and telling me that he was looking up counselors for us and that he had called a few and they weren't available. So he's like basically leading me on to which was unfair, and which is what I didn't want to do to him when I was having another relationship, because he's keeping me there and not letting me move forward.
Was it what did it take for you to finally, like, what did it feel like to finally take that step to like host that intervention? Because that's a big step. This is like, hey, we're probably 2 points away from splitting up. That's a big one.
Well, it was hard. The hardest part was I knew what I wanted to say, and I'm not sure I was able to get everybody else involved, in part because for a long time I was the only one who really knew about it, because he doesn't drink during the day. He wasn't he was very high functioning. He was showing up to work every morning, and yeah, they knew he smelled like alcohol, but I think they weren't really fully putting it together. His friends back home didn't know. I had talked to some of his family members who weren't really processing it. So I felt like I was the one that was bearing this whole burden. And he didn't want me to he didn't want anyone else to know. And at some point it was like, there were a couple people I knew I could reach out to that were both mutual friends and his friends that I knew. And only one other person was able to be there, but we got letters from all these other people. And, yeah, it was hard. But I think it wasn't so much the act of the intervention so much as finally telling myself, I need this ultimatum. Because there were so many times where I would go, oh man, this has to be his bottom. And then at some point I realized, when's my bottom? When is the point where I say it's, yeah, when am I finally fed up? And, moving out's been great, other than the bugs that I have to kill myself. It was it sounded like I have to kill myself. That's a whole other story.
What? Oh,
no, the bugs I have to kill myself.
No, you said the other story. Now, oh no, wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah, yeah. No, I've been overall very happy in my new space. And by myself. But it is, again, it's hard as if I was like someone who never saw myself getting together again and never, if I was someone who didn't see a relationship as something I wanted to end up in, or a partnership or children as something I wanted to have, I think it would be different because I wouldn't feel this pressure to rush. But right now I do feel this like, gotta get on it. And boy, don't bring this up with any Uber driver because they will tell you, oh yeah, you're not getting any younger. God.
Ugh.
Yeah. Really.
Why is every Uber driver like a 62-year-old man? And they're not all 62-year-old men when you look at them, but when they speak, you're like, that's a 62-year-old man who looks like a 33-year-old black lady.
They all have a fake degree in a fake degree in psychology, apparently.
Yeah, always. What's that yearning for the kid about?
Oh, I've always wanted children. I work with kids, and I love children. I think they're amazing. And the thing is, I've raised other people's children. I was a nanny for a while, and I've helped with that, but you're never mom. And you see that connection that they have with their mom no matter what. I don't want that.
How long have you known you want kids?
Probably since I was 14.
14?
Yeah.
With Arkansas.
Yeah, no, I remember my mom.
Do you think any of that had to do with like culture, like the culture of the South?
No, even as a little kid, I look back and I loved going and playing with younger kids. I was the baby. So you would think that I liked being around older siblings, but I loved, my parents also were pediatric physical therapists. So my parents are like the type where we're walking down the street, they see a baby and they turn around to walk back to go look at the baby. And I started doing that at some point in my life.
And then some parent was like, they came back for my kid.
No, they look like Santa Claus and and they look like the traditional like grandparents. So people aren't usually threatened by them at this point.
It's those that you got to watch.
Right. I am grateful a lot of the time that I'm a woman and not some creepy like middle-aged man, because I will talk to children that I don't know out in public.
So you definitely want a kid.
Yeah. And I want more than one because I came from a big family, and I think siblings have always been important. So now I'm like, maybe I'll just get lucky and have twins, because then they can still have the sibling relationship and I can fit it all in one
time. You do in vitro, you can get all sorts of weird numbers pop out.
Do you ever, well, maybe this is just me, but sometimes I worry that I can't get pregnant, because I would think that I would have already at this point, because I wasn't always responsible in my 20s, and it's like, how did I not end up pregnant, right? Like, it's kind of worrisome.
Huh, interesting. I never have that worry because
Because you're a dude, yeah.
I was gonna say because
Oh.
I use the fucking condoms.
Well, that's what I meant. Use safe sex. Use safe sex. What's that joke? Practice safe eating. Always use condiments. Oh, that was a totally other thing.
Well, everybody, Jessica Lovelace Chandler. Evoking your comedian card.
No, that wasn't my joke. It's like an old. It's like, why did the chicken? Okay, I'm going over.
Are you going to tell it why?
I'm going over here now. Why did the man skip to the whatever track on the? Never mind. Let's erase this part.
Yeah, no. Please
Wait,
keep going. What more?
I don't remember the
what
rest of the
shitty,
It
Borscht
was
Belt
something.
premises
No,
can
it
you
was
come up
something
with?
about the Red Hot. I wrote it once on Twitter. It was funny.
Who walked into a bar?
Yes, I feel like I just did. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
But you would also like to have a partner, ideally.
Yeah, ideally.
Do you see yourself as having like a traditional looking family? Like, would you prefer to raise kids with a man?
No, not at all. That's never been an issue at all. In fact, the times, I mean, not to be all like U-Haul lesbian-y, but the times when I felt most likely
You look
to
like you
have-
just finished loading a U-Haul.
Right, thank you. That's sweet. That's nice, Billy. No, I do feel like the majority of
I
times
feel like
that
people
I
are.
felt
I
like
just got self-conscious. I feel like people just heard that, and I don't think it's fair that they can't see like the hair. and
right,
the
they
tank
just hear
top.
they
It's
just
like-
hear you commenting on a woman's appearance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, in my defense, I don't.
In my defense, I'm at my house and not being seen on the podcast. Okay.
Okay.
The point of this is Billy
Defending
is a
myself did not make it better.
Billy is a misogynistic asshole who hates women. Pass it along. Anyway,
Before I comment. No, you were saying that like you're very much open to
yeah, because
raising
again,
kids
the
with
times
anyone.
I think that I was. I felt very much in a relationship where both of us wanted children. Yes, my husband and I did, but also when I was in very serious relationships with women, I saw that maybe we would have kids together, and that's so. Yeah, again, that's never been. Here's the thing: I don't think that everyone is genuinely bisexual or queer. I identify as queer, but I don't think that everyone is necessarily that. I mean, yes, there's a spectrum and some people are closer to some things than others, obviously. But I really do, for me, feel like the majority of the time, gender has not been the issue or an issue in whether I like someone or not, whether I see us together or not. Especially once I got out of Arkansas. Because, once you get out here, it's like you're not really – not that you're not mistreated, but it's not oppressive in the same way that it is back in the South. So.
Well, not to put the clock on you, but it's like I'm assuming like you're hoping you'd be pregnant by like 36.
Yeah.
Some that sounds.
Well,
vaguely-
I actually told my mom, this is sneaking up on me, but I told my mom if I'm not pregnant by 35, I want to start looking into doing it myself.
Yeah.
And so 35 is,
But
that's getting close.
So what I think of is like, okay, so to meet someone to date,
Yeah.
to kind of find the right intimacy with that right person, like.
Well, no, here's what I said though, is if I'm not in a relationship with anybody at that point, because if I am, like if I found someone when we're on the right track at 35, then I'll give it a little more time because then we have a little more time to, at least I know I've found someone.
Are you
to do
nervous
it
that
with.
you might rush the intimacy of the relationship to make them fit into this? Oh, this can be my
You know what's funny?
co-parent
I've
box.
never actually thought about it until about 10 minutes ago while we were having this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like this has been a really good therapy session.
Oh, I'm
Billy.
glad.
Yeah.
Actually, this I will.
People
bill you
said that before.
afterwards.
Oh, you'll bill me.
When I send you the episode when it comes out, there will also be.
How much am I getting paid for this, by the way?
Oh, I thought I was getting paid. I'm doing
Well,
the
I'll give you
therapy.
the money back, and then
Oh.
we'll call it even. We're even now. Okay, cool.
Okay, so in a similar vein, there's the concern sometimes that someone's not into, and I think that's something for me in my earlier 20s, like the first half of my 20s, of trying to find a girlfriend, but like almost rushing some people into that box.
Yeah, that's part of why.
Where it's like I'm really in love with this idea of being in a relationship more than maybe the person I think I want to be in a relationship with.
Yes, I totally understand that, and I'm kind of Am I worried about that? Absolutely, but
Do you have any
that's
sort of
reality.
system in place to maybe keep a check on yourself?
No, as long as they give me a baby, we'll figure out the rest after that.
Oh, that sounds great for that kid.
I could raise the kid by myself. There's the actually.
Right, but I think
I'm going to
the
go back. Wait, I'm going to go back to this guy that we've been
The
talking about. That we've
consistency
been
of the household is why
yes,
I'm more
but
commenting
this guy
on.
that we've been talking about that I've been sleeping with.
Sure.
We actually had a conversation a few months ago because he is a dad already.
Okay.
And he's not with the baby mama. They've never
Mm-hmm.
well, they were together, but they've never been married since the kid. And she's, I think, 7 or 8 now. And he was saying he wants another one. And I said, I really want one. And we kind of, to some degree, joked, but to some degree, we're serious. We've talked about it again since then of, I know he's a good dad. He takes very good care of her, of his daughter that he has. And for us to be able to co-parent together, but not really be together, in some ways, that actually seems like a great ideal situation because part of the thing about doing it alone is I don't really want to like do it alone. But to some degree, if you have somebody that you respect and care about, but you don't have to be in love with him to raise a kid, there's something kind of nice about that. Right?
Yeah.
Is that just me? I see that from what I can tell and everything with his current baby mama. Is that a right thing to say?
It's
Baby
okay.
mama? I don't
It's
know.
okay.
The mother of his child is that he.
Now it sounds like Mary Magdalene.
I know, right? He doesn't.
The mother of my child.
Is that he doesn't necessarily like her. I don't know if he likes her as a person, but he's raising this beautiful, wonderful daughter. And I see when he talks about her, I see how much he loves her and wants what's best for her.
For the daughter or for the mom?
For the daughter.
For the daughter, yeah.
And ultimately, I think when you can put your stuff aside, the parents can hate each other. But when you can put that aside and not make that a part of your child's life, I think that's always been what amazes me is I have seen the parents that are like playing their kid as far as like, well, your dad's
Right.
your dad's this and your mom's this. And if you're able to love your child more than you hate your ex, I think that is a really big, important thing.
Love your child more than you can hate your ex. I
Yeah,
like that.
Thank you.
Very good.
It's
That's very
profound,
good.
right?
Yeah.
It's like real deep.
Soup's deep.
Yeah. Now I'm having a flashback to that dream, Billy.
Yeah. Oh.
So deep.
Ooh.
So in the dream,
So-
I was impressed by your penis. That's good, right?
I think my penis is pretty good.
I don't remember. We've talked about that too.
There are pictures.
Is that a
It's
good bookend? Are we done yet?
fine. Oh. I forgot what my penis looks like. There's ways to find out. Okay.
I kind of want to see it now, but not flat. I don't like flaccid penis. I think it's the grossest thing in the entire
But well,
world.
here's the fun thing.
Get hard, Billy. Get hard.
Speaking about my penis, tends to start getting blood flow into my penis.
Really? Oh, that's good. Because
So I
normally,
am-
if you make someone like pressured, it nervous.
So I'm at like a. Well, now
Chub.
more. I'm at like a 7/8. No, I'm at
Seven-
like a 3/4 chub. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Should I take my dick out?
No, we're in the middle of my living room.
They're not there.
They're home. You can't take your dick out of my living room.
It's your house, your
No
rules.
sex in the champagne room. No dick out in the living room.
Do you want to? Well, I guess screw this idea. Do you want to do you want to analyze? Do you want to move to your bedroom for a bonus episode and just like
It's really gonna be a
platonically
boner episode.
and platonically analyze my penis?
I'm kind of not sure because I don't think you want to necessarily hear what I have to say.
I won't mind. It's fine. It should be
I don't
interesting.
think I can.
I
I'm like blushing. If I had like
Oh.
8 more drinks, probably yes. I would take like 8 drinks to want to look at you. No, it's not like that. I'm worried that I might actually like it.
You-
Is the real problem.
okay. Well, that's a potential outcome too.
Because I already had this weird dream, and I think mostly the dream was me saying I needed to like let loose and have an orgasm, but I haven't been able to do that because I woke up late for our podcast taping. It's been you know what? It's already been a long day.
Since you were like, I'm kind of curious about seeing it, I would propose you can do an on-air just like commentary of it.
Wait, can I ask, are we staying on the air while you pull it out? Or is it like I look at it and then we come back?
We'll be we can do on air for that part of it. Sure.
I really wish my roommates weren't home. It was very
We can move to your
But
bedroom
going
for
to
the
my
bonus
bedroom
show.
actually feels like worse. It makes it feel like it's like serious.
I promise you, it's not serious.
You're not
It's for
like,
it's for paid content.
You're not. Oh, I only care about your opinion.
And you can be
feelings.
100% honest. It won't hurt my
You're
feelings.
circumcised, right?
I guess you'll have to find out.
No, I'm really. I need
Yes,
to know.
I am. I'm circumcised.
Okay. Well, okay.
I think that would make people want to go pay $5 a month.
Okay,
to
let's
hear.
do it.
Okay, so y'all can check out that bonus episode of tomorrow.
If you don't call it a boner episode, I'm not doing
I
it.
promise to title it Boner Episode.
Okay.
Okay, so the Boner Episode will be available tomorrow at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast for all my $5 and up members. But for now, Jessica, where can people find you? Because you're a funny comedian and
Thank
writer.
you.
I like you on Twitter.
Thank you. Best place to find me on Twitter right now is on Twitter at something punny. So that's the word something and then PUNNY, something punny.
Go check her out. Go follow her. I do. And for now, Jessica, before we go, possibly destroy my ego, why don't you go say goodbye to everybody?
Thank you so much to everybody for listening. Thank you, Billy, for having me. This always makes me super nervous, almost as nervous as I am to look at your dick. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Goodbye.
Boner Episode. Oh, wow. Okay. I know what I'm titling that one. You can obviously hear that tomorrow at the $5 and up level on patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Be sure to go follow me on the places. You know how to find me. But I love getting your feedback more than anything. I love interacting. I want to know what you thought about this week's show. You can tweet at us. I am at @TheBillyProcida. Or you can comment on Instagram at BillyIsProcida. Or on the Man Whore Podcast Facebook fan page. We'll have an episode thread over there. I do hope those of you in the New York City area will come enjoy getting some free swag, some goodies at the Brooklyn Sex Expo and stop by my booth. And while you're at the Brooklyn Sex Expo, I hope you'll stop at Motor Bunny's booth too, because not only am I giving one away, but we also want you to go check out their booth and see what they've got in store. I want you to see really what it is I've been talking about all these years and how insanely cool that toy is. And if you're already sold, you can get $50 off with promo code STAYSLUTTY at motorbunny.com. But if you can't make it to the BK Sex Expo, you still want to get some Man Whore merch, go to my store. I just added these fun duffel bags that say Laid in NY from Man Whore Con, and you can get those at gumroad.com/manwhorepodcast or click the link in the show notes. Next week, this one's for all you YouTube fans. Shan Boodram, aka Shan Booty. She's coming on the show. She just wrote a really great book about love and dating, and she's also a YouTube sex expert. Haven't really messed with the YouTubers too much, so but I had a ton of fun getting to know her a bit, and I can't wait to share it with y'all next week. But until then, go Jets and stay slutty.
Hey there, my name is Bethany, and I just wanted to share why I joined the Patreon for the Man Whore Podcast. When I first started listening, I was immediately intrigued by Billy's personality. I knew that I had to get more content and hear more bonus episodes. All of those teases really pulled me in. With all the work that Billy does with the podcast, and with how much time and effort he puts into giving us a community of sex-positive people, I knew I had to help support him. The Champagne Room is a huge bonus and is filled with amazing people who are there to support you and give you a safe place to talk about all of your sex adventures without feeling creepy. It is by far the best podcast group I've been a part of. If you're thinking about joining, do it. Billy deserves all of the support we can give him, and the bigger the community gets, the better everything will be. Look forward to seeing you in the Champagne Room.